What's up, everybody? This is In the Pocket, where we talk about the people and things around sports that you want to talk about. That's Maestro. I'm Big Bob. Maestro, how are you doing tonight?
Outstanding, my brother. Feeling good. You know, the Jets are on that winning streak, and I'm sorry, I couldn't even fake it anymore. I'm all right,
I,
dude. How you feeling, fam?
I don't remember. When is the last time they were ever on a winning streak? Was it
1744.
Delta or American Airlines? I don't know. Which I'm not. No, it's all love though. We both have. Neither of us are making the playoffs this year. Vikings missing it. Jets missing it. Hey, we're in the same boat. But unfortunately,
You
my
guys, I'm
Vikings.
surprised about them.
Huh?
I'm sorry, but you guys, I'm surprised about. I really thought that, with your quarterback whisperer as a head coach, I figured,
Yeah.
you know, I
You know,
just,
he was just so raw coming out of college, JJ McCarthy.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was not. I personally, at the time, was not huge on the pick. I will always admit my bias to certain schools at certain positions. Again, Michigan being a
hmm
position where, or a school where I don't want a quarterback from that school. But hey, he's improving. He's improving. He needs to stay healthy. And the thing that we have to remember is this offensive line that we put together. I don't know. I don't think we've had more than one full game of them being together because
You
they're
know what? That's
all
right.
continuously getting hurt from both of our tackles. I mean, both our tackles, both our guards, and the center. All five of them. It's just none of them have played every single game this season. So
You know what? That's a
it's
great point.
yeah, so him finding the comfort level, I mean, he doesn't have a comfort level, and then he's
Right,
hurt. Whenever he's hurt,
right.
it's like it is what it is. But hey, I'm not giving up on him like some Vikings fans are. I'm hoping for the best.
You're
Again,
not fans. You give up, you're
yeah,
not a fan.
I believe.
Come on,
Again,
colors,
I'm in
baby.
the give him 2 or 3 years.
Colors, baby. Colors. Come on, let's go.
Well, Maestro, let's jump in. We had again some great questions. You always
Oh
know that we
yeah.
got some great questions from our fans. The first question that we got from my former coworker and friend Adam: how do we feel about basketball now? Speaking about how Steph Curry has changed the game and spaced it out, and how everyone seems to be just throwing up threes left and right. How do we feel this has made the league in general?
So
Yeah, I think you probably have a lot more to say about this than I may. I have some things to say, but I'll let you go ahead first.
no, no, no. It's a good. Go ahead. You got it, baby. You got to do your thing. Do your
No,
thing.
you know what? I do not believe, and I know people will point to Steph Curry coming into the league, the record-breaking threes. It's not his fault that defense, in the way that defense is called now, it's not his fault.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
it just it's not his fault. He had a specific skill set that people were not 100% sure on coming out of college. His ankles, obviously, another thing that people love to talk about. Not sure if his ankles were going to be able to hold up.
Right.
He was just an amazing three-point shooter, the greatest three-point shooter in the history of the game, and it's really hard to dispute that. Whenever what was it, his fifth year that he broke out Ray Allen's record? It was something crazy. Like he
Yeah.
broke.
It was super early. It was super early. Yeah. Yeah.
It probably wasn't his fifth year, but anyways, it was super early. It's not his fault. Now I do believe that there is the kids are just throwing it up every time because he shoots so well and he makes it look so easy. And now we're going to this. I hate, as a 76ers fan, I absolutely hate seeing Joel Embiid having 5 to 8 3-point attempts a game. Uh Again, he's not the worst shooter in the world, but he's not using the skill set that he has to guarantee the Sixers getting past the second round of the playoffs. If he would use his size and his athleticism to his advantage, he could take 0 threes a game, and the 76ers are going to be better off without it. But yeah, I mean, I don't personally think that it had the spacing and the amount of threes that he had shown you can take. I don't think that has necessarily ruined the game, but it is that less physical because the fouls are going to get called so much easier. It's a different decade of basketball. Something's going to change in 10 years and we're going to go, did this ruin it? But no, I truly do believe it's mainly a rules issue. No, I will answer the question. It does it does keep me from watching basketball as much as I used to.
Oh,
I,
wow.
I do not watch basketball. I will be honest too. I don't watch sports as much in general. I do follow all the sports, but a lot of it's me following it on my phone. It's just easier. But I do find myself I don't really enjoy watching basketball like I used to.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and we've had this conversation before, Big Bob. I think I talked about that even back in our SimWorld days. I talked about how it was SimWorld that one of the platforms that we where we met
Yeah.
actually, and we did shows with a great group of people there, Ron Yales, Blazer, Siege, B-Ron, the Marshman, all those guys that we work with there. That brought back my love for basketball because I had an opportunity to experience it in a different way. And that actually brought me back to the game, along with another player that's sort of considered the next Stephen Curry, and that is Trey Young with the Atlanta Hawks. But, just sort of kind of answer that question in terms of my view, Adam. And again, man, I mean, Adam is just bringing the heat with the questions. I love it. So,
Yeah.
you know, so, and I don't mean this. It's going to come off little little bougie, so I'm going to apologize in advance. But it's sort of the arm race in most sports now, right? So in the NFL, the passing is the new handoff. So these quarterbacks are making 5 to 8 yard passes, which is basically an extended handoff, and we consider this a passing league because you can great opportunity to get defensive holding, pass interference, and stuff like that. Less than what is it? Less than 12% of plays go downfield past 15 yards now or something like that. I forgot the exact number. Please, Maestro, check me on that one, family. But when we bring it back to the NBA, and I'm going to blame your boy. By the way, it's so funny you brought him up because one of my favorite players of all time, who also played for the Sixers, I don't think he ever shot a three,
Charles
but
Barkley?
he's still. I think nope,
Uh,
nope. Somebody else, but no, don't get me wrong. I do. I love me some Chuck. All right, don't get me wrong. I love me some Chuck.
yeah.
Little, little sexy bit that he is. But Moses Malone, Moses
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Malone.
Yeah.
And I believe, and again, please, Maestro, check me on this. It's so funny you brought it on because I had him in my mind when I was thinking about Embiid. His game was all around the rim, all in the post, and I think he's in the top 15 all the time in scoring. And his is the name that I think people will forget because they'll remember Kareem, they'll remember Jordan, they'll remember LeBron, they'll remember other players and Hakeem, etc. But I don't think people think of Moses Malone as a player who also did a crap ton of scoring because his game was so unflashy. Don't worry, I'm coming back to the three thing in a minute, Adam. Just kind of hang with me one second. You know how listen, Adam. You know how Maestro gets. I know we just met, but you know how Maestro gets, right? So, so my thing when I think of Embiid, I think of if with his skill set, if he could model his game after anybody, Akeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone, who played right there in the same building, well, not the same building, on the same in the same jersey he's playing in. The fact that you have these low post players that have such an expansive game, and I'm going to say this, I don't believe anybody's footwork I've ever seen is better than Akeem Olajuwon's, but Embiid has the talent to be that good, in my opinion. In my opinion, I'm not saying he's there. I'm just saying that he could be that good. He doesn't have to be, but I really think he could, and I really think he would really change his impact on the game if he did that. So now to bring it back to Adam's question and why I took that left turn at Mississippi, the arms race of the game is now because of players like Stephen Curry. When you go back and see when the three pointer was just first brought in the league, and it wasn't that long ago, family, cats would be right at the 3 point line, almost like making it like an extended free throw. And then you got a cat like Ray Allen, and then you got Miller. I can't remember
Yep.
Miller's first name.
Reg.
I think it was Sister Cheryl Miller.
Reg.
Yeah, Reggie Miller. It's funny because I can think of Cheryl Miller, but I couldn't think of Reggie Miller. So so Reggie Miller. So you get these players, and then you get this transcendent player. Stephen Curry has changed the 3 point game the same way Kareem Abdul-Jabbar changed the dunk and other stuff like that in terms of his ability to perform at such a high level from such a great distance. A lot of people want to play like that. The problem is with Kareem, he was 7'2", and he was just like a magician, like in the post with the sky hook and other stuff like that. So they changed the rules; you couldn't dunk, blah blah blah, whatever. And they finally brought it back and they realized, wait a minute, the only people we're hurting are ourselves. Stephen Curry, though, has that sniper ability from such great distance that everybody feel like they can chunk up the ball. And I did say
Mm-hmm.
chunk, okay?
Yep.
I didn't say shoot, I said chunk up the ball. So you see a lot of that going on, and I agree with you on that, Big Bob. That there's 3 points are better than two, whatever. The problem is when you miss and you don't get the rebound, you just gave up a possession.
Yeah.
So to have somebody like that, like Stephen Curry, um, Trey Young for the Hawks has the same kind of game. He can take what they call logo threes, right? Basically, get cross half court, take the shot, and whatever. But the reality of it is, and I will say this, I'm with Bob on one thing. My issue with watching the game now is I don't see enough defense in the game to make it interesting. And it seems like the game doesn't really start happening until there's 4 minutes left to go in the game. But that's a personal problem. It's not I'm not saying that's the problem with the game. That's a Maestro problem. The reality, though, of players like Stephen Curry who are so transcendent, and because he looks like Clark Kent and not Superman, everybody feels like they can do that. So you're going to get a lot of I'm saying junk players, even though they're professional. A lot of players who just going to shoot the threes because I'm eventually going to make them, right? And is it a negative hit on the game? Normally, I would say yes, and I think Big Bob is expecting me to say yes, but it's just where the game is gone now, and cats like me just have to accept that this is where the game is now. And and who am I, the guy who's sitting on a camouflage chair, to talk about what these guys should be doing, right? The best I ever got in basketball were tryouts, and that was it. So, but watching the game and seeing where it's going, Adam, my man, I believe that's just where the game is going now. And unfortunately, I guess cats who saw the game from before, you have to start changing your taste. Like you're not going to get the McRib all the time. So,
Why?
Somebody tell me. You hear that answer, going and write the show, because to me, there's no reason you can have. There's plenty of pork in the world. I don't even like pork, but I don't even know if it's pork in the McRib. It's probably some sort of meat pork product.
We cannot. We probably can't. It's probably not legal the kind of meat that is in the McRibs. Probably.
And by the way, and you know what? It might not be legal. We've already broken the law. Let's just go for it. Thelma and Louise, that sucker, all the way up the cliff, baby.
I don't want to get too far off topic, but I will before McDonald's. I don't even know if it was before. I don't know when McDonald's started the McRib, but I know that those little rib things, those are the best. In high school, middle school, that was the best. I look forward to that day. Now I will say that my high school was a little bougie. We ended up getting Strombolis and stuff like that. So I know, but yeah, and you were getting 2 or 3. You know those people, and I was one of them. We were getting 2 or 3 on that day.
Did you get served with a white glove and a silver plate? Here you go, Master Bob. Here's your foie gras, my man. Whereas us down in the hood, we got milk with every meal, breakfast. Like you got milk, and it smelled like it had been out in the sun for like 97 days, and it didn't matter what. No matter what the meal was, you only got milk. And then the special day was Thursday. You got chocolate milk, and then Fridays you got those little cheap plaster pizza pieces. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You triggered me again, man. It's coming back. Oh Lord. And the reason I don't eat coleslaw is because I broke a tooth on the coleslaw. I'm sorry. I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm back. I apologize, Adam. Adam, I'm sorry, my boo. But the deal is, I feel like our tastes just have to change, because that's where the game is going. Because cats are just going to do that now, and try to find the joy in the moment of basketball as best you can. I know I'm trying to. So I'm efforting with this, and I'm not succeeding. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not succeeding. It's hard for me to watch a lot of basketball, especially pro basketball. I watch college
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
Hard
yeah,
for me to
yeah,
watch
yeah.
pro basketball just because of the way the game is played. So Adam, I hope we answered your question. Again, it's such a great question, Adam. We really appreciate you, brother. And I hope we got it in there for you.
I do want to say I was shocked at this statistic, and I'm sure you will be shocked as well. Moses Malone took 83 3-point attempts in his career,
Wow.
regular season. I honestly, when you said
Wow.
zero, I'm like probably 0 or 1. Like maybe he had
Yeah.
one. No, he did. I mean, there was one season where he took 11 3-point shots.
I would
Wow.
love to know. I would, you know what? I would love to break that data down and see how many of those shots was because the shot clock was just running down and they were running
Oh
the play
yeah.
and he had to reset it. He just happened to go outside
Yeah.
and then, okay, we got to get the shot. I went, okay, see now, okay, now you gave me homework. Adam, you're the worst. I can't stand you, Adam. Now I got homework. No, I love you,
No,
brother. It's all good.
we gotta cut Adam off. Gotta cut him off.
You got to cut him off, man.
But
Question's too good,
yeah,
Adam.
yeah. Thank you for the question, Adam. Next
Yeah,
question
brother.
came from Kai Killens,
Ah,
my guy.
CIA. CIA, man. Always. He always
Yeah.
want to know something. Love that brother, man. Love that brother.
His question was regarding Fernando Mendoza winning the Heisman Trophy, and
Right.
how performance and behavior on the field can translate to life outside of sports.
Wow.
It's
That's
a deep
awesome
question.
question.
It's a deep
It is.
question.
It is. And Kai, if you don't mind, Bob, I'm gonna go and hop first because this actually does trigger me in a really bad way, and I'm gonna try to be good about it, Kai, because this is an awesome question. I have given up faith on the writers and the voters for MVPs, for Heisman trophies, for Hall of Fames. I've completely lost all faith to the point where I've become completely agnostic. And I'm going to tell you something, Kai. I did not even know that they had already announced a Heisman Trophy winner until you asked that question. So it shows you how far away I am from the awards
Well,
ceremonies now in
I
terms of just paying
I
attention.
I want to add on to that though. I don't feel
Hmm.
like this year it was as now. I agree. I don't watch TV as much. I do. I'm a YouTube guy. I don't
Hmm.
feel
Hmm.
like that when I popped onto ESPN on my phone the one day and it was Fernando Mendoza wins the Heisman. I was like, I didn't
Right.
even know it was time yet. Like I don't think they weren't even public. It didn't feel like they were pushing it as much as they do as
Well,
much as they have in the past.
no. Well, okay. So I'm on the other side of that because watching Georgia play, watching Georgia Tech play primarily, um, their quarterbacks were in the conversation throughout the season because of the season that stuff was being had. So I was a little bit more in tune to it just because I was hearing it from the local announcers, not the national people,
Yeah,
but the
yeah.
local announcers, right? So okay, so I just want to just full transparency. That's where my ear was. I was half paying attention, but I stopped paying attention to the Heisman back in the days of Tim Tebow. And I think I've told this story. I'm going to make it really quick. Tim Tebow, in my opinion, should have won the Heisman Trophy 3 times. When I found out, and then it was verified, that the reason he didn't win it a second time was coaches colluded to keep his name off of the ballot in certain areas because they divided up the nation into segments or whatever they did. That a certain group of people colluded and kept his name off the ballot so that to guarantee that he wouldn't win. That's when I threw in the flag and said, okay, I don't care about the Heisman anymore. And by the way, I'm saying that, and my school is Georgia, and this guy played for Florida, right? But there is nothing in my heart of hearts could tell me that there was a 3-year period that he wasn't the best player in college football. So that's when I sort of flushed the toilet on the Heisman Award. Uh, uh, Kai, that question is so powerful because it has become a popularity thing. It has become some of those things that have nothing to do sometimes with what the cats are doing on the field. Now, granted, this particular year was not the kind of year where you had this super mega standout player,
Yeah. Yep.
but let's face it, here is a guy on a Indiana, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Undefeated
Indiana
13-0 Indiana team.
undefeated 13-0. So Kai, you have okay, I'm just gonna say this, and please don't take this the wrong way, anybody. But a lot of people who get those votes, and I've heard stories about how certain people who have votes in certain things, how they vote. Like there's one particular person who I respect beyond words, and but he kind of let his voting technique get out in the conversation, and I honestly thought he was joking. But then the more I listened to him, the more it went through. Okay, no, he really does this. He goes alphabetically, so that means he gets so many votes for whatever, and he goes alphabetically. So if he runs out of whatever the maximum number of votes is before he gets to you, and you're in the W's, you just don't get voted for, even though you might be the better player.
Huh.
So I was kind of like, wow, that's trust me, this guy is one of my favorite college radio guys. He can tell you who is the backup punter on some high school in the middle of Wyoming that on a one single A team, because he's just an encyclopedia for the game. And I'm certainly not trying to be disputatious about how he goes about his process, but he's not the only one that has a process that I just find flawed in its complete nature to honor the game, right? Does and I just leave it there. The reality though is, Kai, there are writers who vote for different criteria, and that's their right. They've earned that right to do it. However, I just find more and more now, as I learn more and more about the game, and as I watch the game now, and I study the game now, and as I hear people who know the game, who I feel know the game, talk about the game, that there is just an inconsistent and sometimes disingenuous nature to how people get voted for. Like, for instance, when the coaches poll, it's usually not the coach, it's usually the sports information director that actually does the SID that actually does it. So that means it's not truly a coaches poll. It's like, okay, who's got the best record? Find somebody on that team. Okay, the quarterback's easy, give it to him. And I kind of think that's what happened with this particular year. And oh, by the way, what else? What has that showed us? And I'm gonna set this shut up so Bob can talk. I think Mendoza played for three colleges, right? Two colleges, three colleges. He's a transfer, right? Transfer portal guy.
He did transfer in.
Thank you. So it's like we're starting to see that where if I can go to a program, I can start wherever I want to start, make some hay, transfer to a better program, and have a chance to play for the national championship or get seen, have that one good season. Joe Burrow, LSU, a lot of schools before that. And so to me, that has taken off something else of the luster of the award, because no longer are you truly tied to a program. It's like a bunch of free agents running around. So I know that's not a true answer, Kai, what you were looking for, because you were right. It was a really good question about off the court, things like that. I think it does play a really really huge role in it, but I also think that a lot of people who vote for it, not all of them, but a lot of people are just really lazy, Kai, and they just said, okay, this team is undefeated. Who is the quarterback? Who is people been talking about? It's him. Okay, check the box, move on. So that's my answer to your question. Hopefully it was okay.
I do want to add a little bit to what you said at the end, because I think, just to add a little bit, to support you, I believe at least the last four, I think it's the last four Heisman Trophy winners were transfers.
Yeah,
Not saying that they transferred for their last season, all of them, because we had Travis Hunter went to Jackson State for a season.
right.
Um, Jaden Daniels, he went from Arizona State to LSU, and Caleb Williams went from Oklahoma to USC. I don't
But
think.
Travis, but you know what though? But Bob, I'm sorry. Please put a pin there. Please hold your thought. I apologize for cutting you off. I view Travis different. He followed his coach.
Yeah,
He
I
followed Coach
think
Sanders.
I think Caleb Williams did too. I'm trying to think
Okay,
if I
okay,
believe that
okay.
was the season that Lincoln Riley left. Jaden Daniels, I
Gotcha.
don't think Jaden Daniels was feeling supported at Arizona State, and that I believe um, that he wasn't feeling supported there, and he left. I mean, I don't know if you remember. I forgot that he was the player that. He transferred, and like all his teammates trashed his locker and videotaped it and posted it online.
Oh my God.
I forgot
Wow.
that it was him. I remember I think I was watching a highlight tape of him like a week or two ago, and I completely forgot that it was him that they did that to. But yeah, I mean,
Wow.
you're right. I mean, players do follow, and that's a topic for another time. If anybody wants to throw that
Yeah,
topic for us
yeah,
to talk about,
yeah.
that is something that people get frustrated with. I know as a Penn State fan, some some a lot of fans are frustrated that we lost our entire recruiting class. We had 2 recruits at National Signing Day, and they're like, oh, well,
Yeah.
players don't commit to schools anymore. They commit to coaches. Yes, they commit to the people that they built a relationship with. They didn't
Right.
build their relationship with a university's name. They built a relationship with that coach that is sitting on their couch
And
talking to
I'm kinda
them.
okay with that.
Yeah,
You know what?
yeah,
I'm okay with that part because that process, I know when cats come into your house and they look your mom and your dad in the
yep.
eye or your guardian in the eye, whatever, I'm okay. It's the people who transfer because of the better NIL
Oh, yeah,
deals that I
yeah,
have a
yeah, yeah.
problem
Oh,
with.
yeah, for
But
sure.
but but, it's
All
like,
the
if you know what
quarterbacks
school you
that are
wanna go to.
transferring.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. So it's like if you know what school you want to go to, fine, go to that school, no matter who's there, fine. If you weren't sure what school you want to go to, and one coach over another coach really sold you on the process, how they were going to help build you up as a man, as a woman, as a player, as a whatever, fine, fine, fine. Go there too for that person. When they go, you want to follow them because you're following somebody who at least means something to you. So though the first two I'm okay with, it's that third group that just go for
Yeah.
the NIL
Yep.
deal. Dude, no, I'm sorry, no.
Yeah. To jump on to the Fernando Mendoza part of this topic, I believe that this season, when you sit down, unlike seasons in the past, there was no clear cut 1 or 2 people that people are like, okay, these are the 2 Heisman front
Right.
runners, and it's going to come down to them. I truly think this season. Now, Mendoza did run away with the award. I think he had like 1,200 more votes than it was. I can't remember if it. I think Pavia came in second place, which
Right.
and he was not happy
Who,
about that.
by the way, regardless of how you responded to it, he would have been my vote because of what he did with Vanderbilt in the SEC in a school that's known for people who know how to read as opposed to know how to drive fast, like my Georgia
Well,
Bulldogs to get speeding tickets. I'm sorry.
Well, let me
Right.
put.
I'm back.
Hold on. Let me push. I'm going to push back on you because. Well, no,
Okay.
no, I'm
Okay.
not pushing back on you. That was a comment that was in general. It wasn't you that made the comment. I I feel like Indiana is in the same vein as Vanderbilt. I get that
Yeah.
Vanderbilt
Yeah.
is in
Yeah.
the
Right. I agree with you.
SEC.
The type of school.
Um,
Yeah. I get you.
yeah.
I
So
do
like
agree with that.
so I do believe that it was who was the best player on the best team this season, or who people thought was the best team. That
And
100%.
that's what
That's
you're gonna
where
be.
that's 100% where it went this season. I actually tried to look
Yeah.
up when you were talking about that. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's right. Surprisingly, the last couple of Heisman winners, they were on 2, 3, 4 loss teams. I mean, and
Right.
Travis Hunter, 9-4 with Colorado, but he was a two-way player. Sometimes, but that's the issue that we start to run into now too. In order for someone that's not a quarterback to win, or
Oh
in
my
order
God.
for a wide receiver to even have a
Ooh.
chance, you have to be a two-way player. Um,
Okay. Please somebody fact check me on this. Was it Troy Brown that played for Notre Dame when he won the Heisman? I think they had a 8-5 record. Please somebody fact check me on that. It was like Notre Dame was like, ooh, like you said in your short, just win the games. Well, they didn't win the games that year, but he was still so outstanding. I believe I would Troy Brown. Was it Troy Brown? Am I getting the name wrong? Oh my goodness.
well, I
Somebody
mean,
please
Troy
help the old
Brown,
guy out.
Tim Brown, same
Tim Brown,
difference.
Tim Brown, Tim Brown, thank you. Yeah, Tim, Troy, they all look alike. So I'm sorry,
Oh
just playing, just
God,
playing, just
come
playing, just playing.
on. Hey, you can say, hey, okay, you're allowed to say that. I can't say that. You're allowed to say it.
So yeah, Tim Brown. I believe it was with Notre Dame, and I think
Eight
they,
and eight and
I
four. Eight and
it was
four.
8-4. Okay, 8-4. Oh, 8-4. Okay, okay. So yeah, but there you go. But so it's like and he was solely a receiver, right? I don't even think he returned kicks or punts or whatever. I think he was just solely a receiver. So I don't think we're going to see anything like that again, dude. I really don't. To your point.
Yeah, I mean, who I'll say in the NFL, he for sure returned, but no, but you keep looking like Desmond Howard. Now, Desmond Howard's a little different.
Yeah.
Desmond
Oh,
Howard was there
oh,
was
come
no
on.
chance that a corner or a defensive there was no chance just a defensive player, unless a defensive
Right.
player plays both ways, you're better you're going to win the lottery before that happens again.
Right. Yeah.
Um
The closest we've come to that I can immediately remember Ndamukong Suh was being talked about with the Heisman Trophy award because he was the best defensive player in college
Yeah.
football. He's also the craziest. He's also the craziest, most mentally unstable. But yeah, him. Jadeveon Clowney, the year he had, and it was a cat who played for. Oh my goodness, I can see his face now. And he played for Georgia.
Todd Gurley?
Is no. Defensive player.
Oh, yeah, I don't, yeah. I don't
Anyway,
know. But yeah, I
those are the
mean,
three in my most recent, like solely defense only guys that got Heisman conversation
yeah,
that I
for
can remember.
sure.
That I can remember.
Yeah,
So
for
please,
sure.
Maestro, check me on those facts, please, family.
Yeah, like I mean, I know that the last thing, just because it was a big battle between the two linebackers. It was I can't remember if it was the year after Sandusky or the year before the Sandusky stuff came to light to the public. Michael
Right.
Maudy and uh, Manti Te'o were both being talked about as potential Heisman winners because of
Yes.
what they were doing. That was a great battle between those two that season. But yeah, no, I cannot think. You mentioned the ones that I probably would have Clowney, Sue, like those are the guys that if somebody was
Rokon
if
Smith. Rokon
oh
Smith. That was
okay
the other one.
yeah oh
Yeah.
I really liked it. He was where is he now? I can't. We get off we get off talk. That's what we do.
That's what we do, baby. That's what
Because
we
he
do,
was
boo.
drafted by the Bears, right? And he's not with the Bears
Mm-hmm.
anymore. He
Mm-hmm.
wanted the big contract. I don't think they gave it to him. I think he might be with the. Is he with the Ravens? It doesn't matter. But hey, let me because for Kai, this was a two-parter, two separate. Well, it was two separate questions, but it kind of. What you just mentioned about Sue. He was talking about. I apologize, everybody. I'm gonna be unprofessional for a second. I dropped my phone that has the questions on it. So let me. The second part of his question is how is performance and behavior on the field, and how performance and behavior on the field can translate to life outside of sports. And you mentioned how like Sue, he was not known as a he was very much known as a dirty player, and he did some things in the professional level at the professional level
Mm-hmm.
that you can't. It's really hard to defend stomping on somebody. It's very,
Yes.
very hard to defend stomping on somebody. I mean, nobody did it when nobody defended Haynesworth whenever. I mean, there were probably some defenders, but nobody's going to defend you trying to stomp your opponent's head or stomp on
Right.
their legs or whatever
Right.
it may be. I believe, and I apologize, Kai, if I don't answer this question right. I believe the way that somebody acts on it's not going to always 100% translate to their life outside, but it's a pretty good indicator of what
But it
kind
gives
of
you an
person
indicator.
somebody
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Well
So
said.
you
Well
you
said. Yeah.
you see how near the end of his career how the CTE took over Antonio Brown, and
Yeah.
I know okay we
Yeah.
can't say that for sure, but uh,
But
after that hit Vontaze, listen, I know people hate Vontaze, but if he would have played 15 years before, he would be in the Hall
oh
of Fame. People would
yeah,
he
no
would
one
be
would
in the
care.
Hall of Fame. It's just, but that's the times change, like we talked about with basketball earlier. Times
Hmm.
change. Vontez would
They
have
used to
been a
sell.
Hall of Famer in the 80s and 90s.
They used to sell videotapes and then DVDs of NFL's greatest hits.
Yeah,
And
we had jacked up every week. We had jacked up, and we were talking the biggest hits. People getting hurt, people getting concussions. We were celebrating that, and then all of a
yep.
sudden, oh,
Oh
brain
no.
injuries. Yeah, we knew
Yeah.
you knew brain injuries were happening. Like you knew
Yep.
playing football that this now. There's only so much when you play this sport that you can do to protect the players. And we're seeing that they are going, in my opinion, at least on the quarterback side, they are going a little bit too far in the protection part. But yeah, they're trying to make all these helmets for players to try and eliminate. You're never going to eliminate concussions. Your
Mm-mm.
brain, you I get frustrated with
Yeah.
people that talk about player safety when they don't actually understand the
I have
the
a fix for that.
physiology the physiology of the
Mm-hmm.
act of the stuff, because uh, go look at an offensive and defensive lineman. They don't look like they take the little hits all game long, head to head, head to head, head to head, head to head. The average lifespan of an NFL lineman was like 55 years old. And I
Yes.
guarantee you, if you tested every single one of their brains, every single one of
Mm.
them had CTE. But they're not getting blasted like some of these receivers are with these quarterbacks throwing
No.
hospital balls over the middle of the field. But it's that constant, like, it's the constant boom, 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 boom. It's not big hits. It's not big hits that are causing it, but it is just the way that the brain moves around inside your head. The helmet isn't going to protect the
No.
inside of your
No.
head. It just,
What if I
and
told you I had a fix for that? What I have a fix for that. I have a fix for most of the NFL injuries.
for most of the NFL injuries are just concussions.
Yeah. Including concussions. I have a
Get
fix for all of that.
get rid of the pads and the helmets.
Close. The you can have the foam helmets like boxers have
Uh
and get rid of the pads. And I bet you people start tackling the right way because a lot of times you see cats using those pads as part of their process.
yeah.
And I bet you, I bet you if we remove those and we get back to that style football, I'm telling you, a lot of those injuries are going to go away, and a lot of that CTE stuff is going to go away. I'm telling you,
But
I really believe in my heart of hearts.
some of the, and I know, Kai, I'm sorry, we are so far off
Yeah, Kai,
of your topic, but but all these rules that are created to try and protect players has
makes it more
caused
dangerous.
way more dangerous. I just saw a highlight of, and people criticized the corner. Was it Joey Porter Jr.? No, it was not. It was Asante Samuel. Was it Asante Samuel Jr.? I believe it was Asante Samuel Jr. Went to he went for a low tackle on the tight end, because if he would have tried to go for a high tackle and he accidentally hits it, players are overthinking a tackle now. So he went for a
Right.
low hit, and somehow he's going full speed at this dude's knees, and somehow I don't even know how he did it, because it looked unnatural. um he hit the knees, but like you could tell, like he pulled up like full force going into it. He somehow pulled himself back from the hit, like, to just, but these guys are taking these low knee shots. Like, yes, it's like, do you want the head injury, or do you want to end your entire career with a knee injury? It's like there's no
Right.
winning. At least I guess with the knee injury, you're not going to have all the brain problems later.
Yeah, but you also can't walk
Yeah,
without
but
a
you can't.
cane.
And these people, like the injury, Maurice Jones, jeez, I'm sorry. I don't know why my nose
That's
gets so stuffed up all the time, and I'm sick of it because I can't breathe. Maurice Jones-Drew, he said this was years ago while he was still playing. I know when I'm 40 years old, I'm not going to be able to walk up and down these steps, but it is what I signed up to do. I
right.
don't want to hear from anybody. I get the older players, like from the 60s and 70s, like the NFL is not doing it. I don't like when people sue for things that you should have known about, but the NFL
Yeah.
has not taken it's the NFL is not taking care of their older player of the
No.
players in general. So the
No.
suing because of the concussions, I get that. I do get it, because how they need the money. So like they have, like their families are, they're poor, their families are poor, trying to take care of these people, and the NFL doesn't care, and they never have. The
No.
only thing they care about is,
They don't have to.
yeah,
They don't
no,
have to.
I'm making billions and billions of dollars off of your injuries, and I don't have to pay for you. Like, I don't have to care about you after you retire. And
The early 2000s, the NFL total revenue income between everything they had going on. This was from I forgot what year it was. It had crossed into the $1 trillion mark, and that was in the early 2000s. The entire league. So I can't imagine what it is now,
I mean, you
whether
look.
they're telling us or not.
I mean, that's the thing. Like the cow. Like again, people like. I will always joke about the Cowboys, make fun of the Cowboys. They haven't been to the Super Bowl since the '90s. They haven't been relevant since the '90s. They're not America's team. They're not. They got a star on their helmet. Regardless, Jerry Jones does not care how many wins he gets because he is making so much money. I don't care what anybody says. He is a showman and he is only there for the money. He's a
Knows the game.
but he's an owner. He's a billionaire. That's what they're there for. They're there to make money. It's Jerry's world. We don't call it we don't call it Cowboys world. We
Nope, we don't.
don't. It's Jerry's world because it's all about Jerry Jones and how do we keep him? How do I keep myself relevant? And how does he keep himself relevant? By saying crazy off the wall stuff, acting like a jerk. He's the reason that Micah Parsons isn't there anymore.
And oh, by the way,
Michael wanted to
everybody
play
doesn't
his
have to love
entire
me.
career there.
And everybody doesn't have to love me. They can
Yeah.
still hate me, and guess what? That still gets me attention. I will never forgive Jerry Jones for how he did Tom Landry. I'm just gonna say it that way, and that's a whole nother show to talk about it. But just look up how he did Tom Landry, and I will never forgive him for that. So he could cure cross-eyedness and ugly and slewfoot people, and I still will not forgive him. That's just what it is. I'm sorry. That's just I know it's petty. I know it's petty, Kai, and I apologize because I know we got off your topic.
Yeah, I'm
But
sorry.
that's
Hold
just where I
on.
am
Yeah,
with
let's get back. So
that. Yeah.
how performance and behavior on the field translates to life outside. We said we touched it a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, we did.
We touched it a little
Look,
bit. It's that the perception. It is that perception of how you are as a person off the field. Um,
there are exceptions now. Okay, so
yes,
there are exceptions to
absolutely,
people.
absolutely.
Okay, so Charles Barkley, you brought him up earlier. Charles Barkley has had a spotted life at best away from the court. But he's also done a bunch of stuff for charity, and I can speak firsthand to at least 3 things where I dealt with him that he was incredibly generous with his time. And he said, I just need a ride from the airport to your venue and then a ride back when TNT was being done in New York. And that's all he asked for. And he showed up and stayed longer than he was supposed to. We were almost late getting him back to his actual job that was giving him a check. So, but his off the court life was a holy mess. But because he's such a good guy, people let it go. Warren Sapp, someone else, tumultuous life off the off the field. But very giving guy, very supportive guy. So you can balance that, Kai, in certain athletes, but you have to really be doing a whole lot of good to make up for the bad that you do, especially in today's world where everything is instant. You
Yeah,
can dude, you can walk on water, turn water into wine, turn fish into whatever, and then have a winning season with the Jets. But the second that you run a red light, all of a sudden people want you fired and out, gone. So it's just what it is now. And unfortunately, it's harder to manage that because you have so many people that they look for the negative thing in winners off the floor. Mark Sanchez went through that when he was a player for the Jets. There was a situation with a young lady that had taken pictures inside his apartment, and apparently she was of questionable age, and it became a thing, and it turned out that he got trapped into it or whatever the deal was. But that was a stain on him for a minute to come back. And unfortunately, now with what happened with the cab driver, brings a lot of that stuff back. But in between then and now, though, he was a guy always in the community. Wherever he played, he was doing stuff in the community. Everybody loved him. He was always so. Kai, man, it's so hard to live that kind of life now for a lot of these guys because of the amount of, I'm going to say, trouble that they get where they have more chances to make bad decisions than people like us,
yeah.
if that
But
makes sense.
yeah, but then you look at players like you got the opposite. You got your Marshawn Lynch's who on the field, like some of the things that he does. I mean, he got in trouble a
Yeah.
couple times on the field for his diving in the end zone, grabbing his man
Mm-hmm.
region, stuff like that. But then
Mm-hmm.
all the stuff that he does in the community, like you would
Yes.
think, oh man, this guy's a jerk on the field, and that's how he is in the community. I mean,
And he's
you're
not.
your Randy Mosses,
Yeah.
like again the things that happened in high school. But you got your Randy Mosses, you got your Marshawn Lynch's. There's lots and lots of guys like even I will still, to this day, I will say that I believe Shaq could have been the greatest player in the history of the NBA, but he didn't care enough, and he knew,
A lot
and
of people agree with you.
people would talk about him being a bad teammate. But this, I don't know if there is an athlete of Shaq's stature that does the things that he does off the court. When it
Right.
comes to the Philippine,
Oh my
like all
gosh.
that's the he gives back so much. Except he did. I
He
think did he say he said he wouldn't give anything to his kids when he whatever. He will, but
he he took over the players' pensions when he find out when he found out how little they were making. He took over the NBA's um players' pension to make sure that they saw more money. And I was there was George Mikan, I believe, and please, Maestro, check me on this one too. I know I'm saying that a lot tonight. George Mikan, when he passed, there was issues of money for him and his family to be able to bury him. And Shaq found out about it, and Shaq took care of it. And I believe this. Oh man, I hope this is public knowledge. I hope I'm not saying something out of school, and I also hope that I'm right with this. So please, Maestro, check me on this. But he found out. That's how he found out how little the old school players were getting in their pensions, and took it over to support them. That tells you everything you need to know. And if I say something out of school, or if this is not public knowledge yet, I'm going to just apologize, and I will take the butt whipping. But I just thought it was so cool that he did that, because George Mikan historically was one of my favorite guys that I love looking at, when the original 7-foot center dude that kind of got attention pre Wilt Chamberlain,
yeah.
So but please check me on that. And if I said something out of school, I'm just gonna say I'm sorry.
I know Charles Barkley was another one of those guys too, with the whole pension thing. I think,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anyway, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know that I believe in the NBA 2K video game series, he had refused for the longest time to, I believe, allow his likeness to be used
Yes.
because while he is fine financially, the amount of money that he would have been paid, he knew that that was how much the other people would be paid, and he knew that it was nowhere near their worth, and he
Right.
wanted them to be paid more, so he refused to be in the game until they were paid more. Um, but yeah, I mean, it it
Such a
takes
good
special
dude, man.
people to do those kinds of things, especially when you sit there and you hear about their personalities and their attitudes when they played, and then you go, oh, I didn't think that he would be. I didn't think that would
That kind
be
of
what kind of guy he
right.
is. Um,
Exactly.
and we could go on and on about Rob Gronkowski too.
Oh yeah.
He's an
Well,
anomaly. Kai, sorry, I think that was 30 minutes of us being completely off topic, but hopefully we
sorry, Kai.
hit
Hopefully we
some of
got
your
the boo.
spots there. Next
And you know
question.
what? Kai,
Oh,
blame me. Don't blame Bob. Blame Maestro.
next topic from B. Ron.
Beat Rob. Put up those fours. I'm sorry. I'm back.
So the Colts bringing Philip Rivers back out of retirement. Does this say something about the state of QB play in the NFL? And if
Yes.
so, what?
We touched on it last week, so I'm just gonna kind of hop into it now. Absolutely, it does, be Ron, which is a great question, by the way, my brother. The deal is this. We talked about last week. So if you check out last week's episode, we talked about how the whole thing about being able to coaches being able to trust quarterbacks to be able to handle their system, and quarterbacks who have a high football acuity or literacy that can digest something really well. Like everybody talk about how Baker Mayfield, who was a screw up, and all of a sudden when he finally takes the game serious, people see how good he could be on a professional level.
Hold on,
And wait,
Maestro. Hold on.
Okay, just hear me out. Hear me out. I'll take the pushback, but just hear me out. When you look at Baker Mayfield's performance overall as a quarterback, yes, I know he was with Cleveland. Okay, so that has something to do with it.
That has a lot to do
But
with it.
yeah, and I'm not saying it didn't. However, when you break down his performances, now maybe that has something to do with his mentality there too. I'm even willing to give you that. But here's what happens. You see him go away from Cleveland. I forgot who he went to next.
Panthers.
The next couple,
Panthers
yeah,
and
Panthers.
Rams.
Yeah. Okay. When he went to the Rams, he only had 4 days to prepare in a very complicated system,
Yep.
adapted it right away, and
Yep.
performed really well. And people said, oh, this was what this guy can really do when he puts his mind to it. Now, maybe his position in the Browns has something to do with it. Trust me, B run. I'm getting to your question. Maybe his position at the maybe the way the Browns are being run has something to do with it. But maybe he got his head quasi right when he got with the Panthers. But when he moved on to the Rams, and then before he left the Rams to go to Tampa Bay, where he's found a home, he showed he can learn the game, execute the game, and play on a higher level that everybody was expecting him to do to begin with. So that's my sort of like my meta thing to go into Phillip Rivers, who had been out of the game for how many years? I don't remember. And all of a
It
sudden
was
now they,
4 or 5. I think it was 4
yeah,
because
yeah,
I think he was going to be eligible for the Hall of Fame
for
next
the Hall of
year,
Fame, right?
but now it
So
resets.
So what do they do? Boom, boom, boom. ARP quarterbacks available. What do you got? Let's see who hasn't signed their full Hall of Fame papers yet. Okay, Phillip Rivers, and he has like 37 kids or whatever he's got, and he gets up off the couch and he whatever. And I'm sure he probably stayed in shape, but yes, B-Ron, it does tell you the state of functioning quarterbacks at that level. And to pair this with our conversation from last week, I believe there should be, if you're not willing to go to Canada to play football to learn, we don't have a World Football League back yet. I believe that the NFL should invest in a QB university where cats who want to play in the NFL or teams feel like they can play in the NFL should go there and be schooled on how to be NFL quarterbacks. So we can get rid of the Johnny Manziels and all these other people that come in that everybody think they can do great stuff or whatever, and then teach them the game. So this way now there's a better quality pool of player at the QB position, and also use it to train wide receivers or tight ends or even linebackers or whatever. I mean it could train anybody, but it has to be like, okay, so you get some guys who are 4A players in baseball. They're too good for AAA, but not good enough to be in the major leagues. Then you get guys that are in the major leagues that are really, there needs to be a level above the major leagues for them to play in to have competition. Same thing goes, I think, with NFL quarterbacks. There's some guys that are too good to be in college, but not good enough to be in the NFL yet. For whatever reason, they haven't found their stride yet. And now we live in an age where when I draft you, I'm playing you early. You don't sit on the bench anymore. So you have that stuff going on too. And these cats are just not, many of them are simply not ready to step into that starting role position yet in the high level, high pressure world of the NFL. That's what it is. And oh, by the way, a lot of them, it takes them years to get comfortable, like Sam Darnold, drafted
Yep.
by. So okay, so I'm just saying that to say, B-Ron, you're absolutely right. It does say something about it, but I think it's the process of how fast we're putting people in there, while we seeing veteran guys able to maintain and hang on. And if you're a quarterback, you gotta, and unfortunately, you're gonna get drafted by the worst team, which means you're going into a bad situation to begin with. So you're probably gonna have a new coach if you get drafted first. You're probably gonna have a new coach, probably have a new GM. They're trying to figure out their role within the team and the scheme. Oh, by the way, you got to get a playbook in. Oh, by the way, people said you were the worst team in the league last season, so now you got drafted first, you're going to be the savior. All these other life things start picking in, and it's very difficult when everybody sees and remembers is the quarterback. That's a lot of pressure. And some cats just can't quite handle that way because you're not on the college campus anymore. Now you are a worldwide commodity, and I'm going way too long, and I apologize. You're a worldwide commodity, and that's a lot of pressure for a lot of cats who don't welcome it, right? So yes, it is. It is a sign of the state of the QB game in the NFL right now, because there's so little learning opportunity. Whereas if there was a QB university, okay, I want to draft Bob for my team, but I don't want to put him in the fire yet because I think he's too good for college, but I know he's not ready for the NFL yet. So I put him in a year of school or whatever where he learns how to study film, learns how to read players, learn how to be a leader on the professional level, blah, 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 blah. And then that way, when he comes to my team now, he's ready to go. He's too good for the CFL, but he's not good for the NFL. You know, those gap players, which are a lot of them right now, especially the ones who are going from college to college to college to college, because I want to have that one good season to get my shot to get drafted to play. So the whole system is just a hot mess, B-Ron, and Is there one answer? No, because it's such a mess. We need multiple answers, but we need to find a way. I should say, I'm saying we, Lord, like I'm an owner of NFL team. Yeah, right. The league needs to find a way to find some kind of balance. Now, I'm gonna go with the Big Bob answer real quick. They don't care because people are gonna buy tickets anyway. But for those of us who want to see higher level quality gamesmanship, especially from the quarterback level, instead of saying hot holy messes, and don't want to contract the league because there's too many teams. There are too many teams. If we're going to keep this many teams, then we need to have that many quality available QBs because there's only one position as QB. You might have a backup, but if you have if you have two quarterbacks on your team, you have no quarterbacks on your team, right? That's the whole adage. So that being said, and I went way too long on that, but yes, B-Ron, you're absolutely right. It is a signal of the state of the game that they had to go get some dude off the couch that was probably at an Aldi picking up spicy greens in the can, getting ready to come to feed his family, and all of a sudden now he's got to drop the kids off at like Noah's Ark camp so he can come out and play football.
I still think the NFL is so adamant on being an international league without being an international league. I still think we should bring back NFL Europe or
I do too.
whatever. NFL Europe, NFL South America. I mean, we're moving into Mexico and all that stuff. Do we Brazil? Like,
Yes.
have a South American league, have a Europe, another NFL Europe league. It gives these guys, and it'll also give, because none of these other leagues that are trying to, the UFL's back again, or are they not back again? The XFL comes back for a season, can't hold
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
behind the NFL brand. And again, I know the money was the issue with the NFL Europe and stuff like that, but it is
Right.
picking up so much ground now because of the way they're slow building to be able to have another league versus just dropping it in there like they did in the
Yeah.
past. Like you have built that you've built that fan base now where people want NFL games overseas. So
Yes.
bring that back. Give people an opportunity. And we will be able to see some of these guys like your PJ Walkers, who again I think it was the UFL. Your PJ Walkers who dominated in the UFL or had great games in the UFL. Now he gets a chance in the NFL. He gets to the NFL. He's not good enough to be in the NFL, but he's still
Right.
talented. Like we
Yeah.
can sit here and I love whenever people sit here and talk about how somebody sucks and they're no good. Oh, what a way! Jamarcus Russell is still a better quarterback than 90, probably 9. I guess maybe. Let me think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
He's
It's a high percentage. It's a high percentage.
he's still a better quarterback than 95. It was Brian Scalabrine. I believe it was Brian Scalabrine that made a comment when somebody told him he sucked. He said, "I am closer to LeBron James than you are to me." And
Ouch.
that,
Truth. Ouch, but truth.
yeah, he's like, "I am closer to LeBron than you are to me." And again, we have some of these guys who they are talented, but maybe the game's a little bit too fast for them. Like you said, you have those guys. There are lifelong AAA players. We have lifelong AAA players because there was just a guy, I think it was last season in the MLB, who he was in his 30s or something, never played pro ball. He got called up because they needed him. But like when you have those guys who they're talented, they can play the sport, but maybe it's a little too fast for them at the highest level. But I still want to watch them play. I would still love to watch them play. And it gives us
by
up,
the way,
but do it in the off season so we have football year round.
thank and okay, so here we go. Let's take it one more level. If you want more teams, do it the way they do the real football league and have divisions, upper division, lower divisions. You have to be in this winning bracket to be in the upper division.
Are you talking
And
about like is that the Premier League? I can't. I'm not big.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about soccer, but I know you got like the Premier League and the La Liga or whatever stuff like that. But you can get demoted and relegated and stuff like that. Yep.
Do that.
Yeah.
And people are still gonna watch. People have shown when the NFL went on strike, people still came to games. Yeah, people whined and moaned, but still people showed up and turned the game on Sundays. When they had a game without TV announcers, people, and look this one up. Philadelphia. I forgot who Philadelphia is playing, but they did a game without TV announcers, just the game on TV, no announcers. That still had a super high rating. It wasn't because it was this anomaly. I watched the game without the sound on. Now, granted, Maestro's weird. I'll turn on the radio broadcast if I have that option. But I would much rather watch a game without the sound on because so many announcers are so busy trying to talk about what they did when they played or if they were coaching, what's going to happen next, is just telling me what's happening and give me insight that I don't already see with my eyes. But then still, though, people, the people who follow the NFL, no matter where they are in the world, have shown that if you play, they will watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And just to go back on your thing, like you were talking about, like oh geez, oh my God, never mind. Never
I
mind.
know,
I
yeah,
the,
B-Ron,
I don't remember what I was
B-Ron,
gonna say, so we're
you
gonna
too,
move on.
B-Ron, you too can blame Maestro. But I'm just, listen, I might get relegated from this show because you guys are triggering me with these questions, man. Come on.
It was great question, B-Ron.
Yes, they are.
We're going to
Yes,
move
yes,
on
it is, bro.
to
Love
our
you, B-Ron.
final topic. It's from Siege. He just wanted us to talk a little bit about college basketball and the landscape right now. Kind of just, I guess, just what's going on right now and our feelings on college basketball.
Man.
I mean, it's one of those things. I love college basketball because really, just like any sport, anything can happen. But you might have that big loss or two in the beginning of the season, those big upsets. But at the end of the day, they don't matter. Unlike
No.
college football, you only have 12, 13 games, and you lose if you are. We'll say Duke in college basketball. Duke could lose 10 games. They're still going to
Right.
have an opportunity to go for a national championship. In college
Mm-hmm.
football, if Duke loses 2 games, 3 games,
Done. Done. Done.
2 games, okay. 3 games, you're not doing anything.
In the ACC, 2 games,
Yeah,
you're done.
yeah. Did Duke is Duke did Duke make it in? They didn't make it into the college football playoff this year, did they?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. I
no,
know. I know we're talking crap, and as I'm saying that, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that Duke. I apologize, Duke.
who
I am
played
double
who
checking,
played for
but
the who played for the ACC college football title? Who played for the ACC title? It was Duke one of the
I think
schools
was
that
it
played?
it was Virginia. Virginia was in it, right? It was I can't remember, Maestro, and I usually keep it.
Oh
Okay,
goodness.
Duke is all right. We're saved. Duke is not in the college football playoff this season. So again,
Okay, good.
back to Duke. Duke can do if they lose 2 games, they're not making it into the college football playoff. But if they lose 10 games in college basketball, they have a chance. And again, those early season losses really,
Yeah,
really matter in college football. You look at again Notre Dame. Their 2 early season losses. They started 0-2. I believe they
oh
started
Lord.
0-2. It
Duke and Virginia. Duke and
it
Virginia
was Duke
played
and
for the
Virginia.
ACC title. Yo, my mercy. Okay. And Duke won. And I remember them saying if Duke won, even if Duke won the ACC title, they were not going to be allowed in the college football
Yeah, I
playoff.
think were they 7-5 this year? I can't remember. No, I can't
They,
because Manny Diaz isn't
yeah.
doing terrible there, but they were like 7-5 or 8-4 or something. Because I think
Mm-hmm.
if Virginia won, I think Virginia made no. If Virginia won, Notre Dame would have made it. But since Duke won and the voters did
Yeah.
whatever they did, Miami
Yeah. Duke
jumped.
was seven
It
and
was a
five with the win. Duke
seven
was
and
seven
five
and
with the
five
win. Yeah,
with the
okay.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were not making the college football playoff.
No.
But back to college basketball. I mean, this season so far, it's been crazy, but I feel like every year with college basketball, it's been crazy. I feel like there was that string, and this also happens in college basketball, college football. I feel like there was a string of the new number one team every single week.
Right.
They dropped the next game
Right.
or
They
two.
dropped the next game.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Who do you like right now, Maestro? If you do you do you think there's a favorite right
No.
now in college
No,
basketball?
I don't. And I don't, and I'll tell you why. It's actually you stole the answer right out my throat. So, Siege, man, this question's so awesome. how I view the landscape, the overall landscape, and I'm gonna break it down to this season of college football. And I promise not to keep you here for 9 hours. Every season is its own apple now because of so many players that are one and done,
Yeah.
and because of the NIL and the transfer portal. So I said portal. I said POTAL. That's one on Maestro. So so the reality of it is you can tune in to any game in any college basketball season and be caught up because there's not much hangover from last year. Gone are the 3-year players, or forget the 4-year players anymore. Maybe, I don't know that. And now with NIL, you're getting top players who say, "Well, I can go if I can go to Fresno State, not to knock Fresno State, but I can go there instead of trying to go to North Carolina or to Connecticut or whatever. I can go there and I can make money, but whatever." So you have all these other dynamics, Siege, I think, that have changed and reshaped the college game, where it's almost like watching college basketball is like watching old school sitcoms that have been on the air for like 30 years. It doesn't matter when you watch. Nothing ties over from one episode to the next, or like an episode of Friends. Nothing really matters. You're going to get caught up in the middle of it anyway. So I think in that respect, it's become easier to watch college basketball, where it's difficult to watch if you are an alumnus of the school. If you are in the fan base of the college, you don't get to hang on to your player to grow that identity, to have that shared thing of like, you know what? Yes, I went to University of Georgia 2009, and this guy who went in 2019, we have a connection because he actually played for the University of Georgia and was a student athlete. You don't have that anymore. So now that alumnus, I'm going to say spiritual connection for lack of a better phrase right now, that's not really as strong as it used to be with the players. So you end up rooting for the front of the jersey as opposed to the back of the jersey more because, yeah, we got the guy now, but next year he could be at Connecticut, or next year he could be at San Jose State, or he could be in the league. So I think that's what's missing now with the landscape of the game. So it doesn't have that longevity that it used to have, and it probably doesn't even need it because what we still will watch the conference. We still will watch the championship series, where a team with 2 wins has a chance to win the conference title and get an automatic bid into
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
into the, let's see what it is. So see, now you have 378 teams that make the play. No, I'm just joking. 68 teams or whatever that make it. So
Are we at? I
because of
think. Are
that,
we at? I think we're. Are we in the 90s yet? I know they were. I know. I can't remember.
it feels like it. I mean, there's only what is it? Fact check. I think it's 320 something Division I basketball teams. 300.
No.
Like 300.
I think there's more than that because it's
You're right. It is more. You're
it's
right. You're right.
all.
It
I
is
think
more.
it's all like instead of college football. I mean, it's still kind of. Like you got college football where you got Division I, where you got FBS, you got FCS, whatever we want to call them nowadays. But in college basketball, all of them, yeah, they're separated still by those divisions, but they're not when it comes to the college basketball or to March Madness and stuff like that. So your St. Francis, Pennsylvania, the first college that I went to, so I'm just throwing them out. St. Francis,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, in the NEC, they are a Division One AA squad or an FCS squad. They have an opportunity if they win their conference to play for the national championship. So I think
Right.
maybe 300 might be a safe, but I feel like it's like 4 or 5, but it probably is 300.
Okay. So I just Maestro check myself. At this current moment, it's 365 total Division I teams. Full members is only 361. So there's some teams that are still in their probationary status.
Look at you.
Look at me, Maestro, old guy knowing something.
You were right with the
That's what you
68
get.
too. I don't know why I thought we were in the 90s. I just feel like every year
It
they're
feels
trying
like
to.
because
Every year they're trying to increase
feels
it.
like it. I mean, come on. How many times is okay? The play-in game. It's going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be the It's going to be the Cadillacs of Walmart, Cinematola, Oklahoma, a 2-year pastoral school
Taking on St.
versus
Mary's, the school for the blind and deaf out of
yeah,
Ohio.
online,
Also,
online only.
also known as Ohio State University. just,
Oh, ow.
just kidding.
So
I'm
yeah,
kidding.
but it feels like it's because it's like you get everybody who wants to watch the early games because they want to see the upset. But then what happens when we start getting to the round of 16? They want to see the big houses, right? And then that's what, oh wow, so and so got knocked out early. So okay, who we're going to look at now? And if there happens to be that one team that is that little engine that makes it to the 16, to the Elite Eight, to the Final Four, all of a sudden the conversation gets a little bit different about them, and they have to go find like this old VCR footage of these guys playing ball at the Purple Gateway University of Kalamazoo, calling Oklahoma, Wyoming online division of auto care, right? They have to find somebody that said, I knew this guy went. So it's just people always say what they want until they get it, and then all of a sudden it's going like, well, it was boring because none of the big people were playing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And we
Yep.
went on the Final Four,
Yep.
so it's what it is. So
Yep.
so anyway, I'm sorry. I know I took way too much time with that answer,
No, but
but
I'll throw my 2 cents in right now. College basketball is exactly where the purists want it to be for just because your Dukes and your North Carolinas are up there, your Gonzagas are up there, your Michigan States, your Purdue's are up there. Everything is level in the basketball world right now, but just wait until we get to the conference championships
yes,
and March of Madness. But yeah, I mean, again, you got Duke and North Carolina. I think combined record is like 21-1. I forget. I think North Carolina might have that loss. Duke, they got the Boozer twins this year.
right.
No, they did not. They did not come out of SimWorld Prep into Duke. They did not. They did not run through the originators and then head up to Duke. Um,
If you know, you know.
if you know, you know,
69, 69.
because the originators were the greatest recruiting team. No, but
69. Yes, they were.
but yeah, no, I mean, it's with the landscape the way it is right now. I mean, none of the top teams, none of the blue bloods are really, they're not shaking in their boots or anything right now.
No.
They're just out there playing, and I do think I know. I actually, if you thought there was a favorite right now, and it's always hard because anything can happen between now. I mean, they have most teams have played between 10 and 13 games, so
Right.
we still got 15, 20 games to go, and but I do think that probably Duke is up
I bet you I
there.
can make Siege smile. I bet you I can make Siege smile. We
Go
can
ahead.
say Alabama.
Sure.
We can say Alabama. He's starting to see. I feel you there, boo.
I mean, I got nothing to. Every year we Penn State they make sure to pile on all these cupcakes in the non-conference so that we can start our season off pretty hot. But when we hit the conference, we lose every single game. So I got nothing
Yeah.
to. Nothing to hold on to, but I do have faith in Coach Rhodes. I do miss Coach Pat Chambers. I don't know where he's at right now. I know North Carolina State to Florida. It was some school. I can't. Anyway, it don't matter. I love Pat Chambers, but I know not a lot of people know who he was. But he was one
Right.
of those guys that if there wasn't the unfortunate mishap that he had with a comment that he made to
Yeah.
a black player, he would
Doesn't
probably
take
still
much.
be there. It doesn't take much.
Doesn't take much anymore. To go
No,
back
yeah,
to Kai's question earlier.
yeah, for sure. But anyway, yeah, that's Maestro. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do if imagine if we did imagine if we did TikTok lives. Like, would we have? I don't even know.
Oh my goodness. You know
We
what?
can't. I really thought we were. I thought we were gonna do good on this one, time wise,
I
and we
blew it.
did
But I
terrible.
blew it. I
You
blew it. I
you
blew it.
took 78 minutes to talk about how to tie your shoes with a
Yep.
blindfold.
And brother, I can. As a matter of fact, I can make tying your shoes a 3-part week of the movie event, brother.
That's our next thing. We're gonna do some how tos How to's by Maestro. Well,
Oh, brother.
Maestro, I appreciate you as always. You have any final
Same,
words for the
brother.
people?
Man, again, I know I say it a lot, and I'm going to keep saying it because I really mean it. Just the fact that you guys pay attention and you ask these great questions and you
Yeah.
watch us and
Yep.
you survive through. I guess you do it while you're working out. So that way if you do an episode, you got 1 hour in of cardio or what.
Hey, just
We
turn it
really
on before
appreciate.
you go to bed and let it run. You don't even have to pay attention to it.
Just it really means a lot with all that's out there right now.
Yeah.
People with not just podcasts, there's other content that's available for sports
Yep.
that you would even take 3 seconds, let alone an hour to listen to us. It really does mean a lot. And oh, by the way, and I'm gonna speak out of turn here. Big Bob and I talked about this. We don't want to ever be behind a paywall. We never want you to have to pay to watch us. We never want to do that to you. We always want us to be free to you. Would we like you to like and subscribe to us and share us with your buddies? Of course we would. But but it's like, you don't have to work for us because
Yeah,
we
like
want to work for
you
you.
have you
And
have these people, like, in order for you to for them to answer a question from you, you gotta
you
you
have to be a
gotta donate and
subscriber.
all. So you gotta be a
Yeah.
subscriber and
No, we're
donate
not
and
doing
all
that.
this stuff.
We're not doing that.
Uh, no, I mean, if you want to send me some
Your
money, I'll take it. I'm just gonna say I'll take whatever you want to give me. I'm just kidding.
your your time, energy, and brain power is valuable to us too, and we
Yes.
thank you. All these questions, with 4 questions tonight, and you see how Bob and I do. You guys have seen that. Go back and watch some of the early episodes if you knew. And it just means a lot. So I just want to say thank you. Really, really sincerely appreciate you all.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys, for sure. And I know, my quality. I know we kind of started the pod. We've been wanting to do this podcast for. We first started talking about this. Man, it was last year,
Oh,
and then I
yeah, yeah.
think January, February, March, April. April is whenever I put together the logo and everything, and we talked about what we wanted to call it and all that stuff. So I put the logo together, and I mean, it took us a while, but it was a terrible time for both of us. I'm not going to talk about your personal stuff, but for me, like we moving from West Virginia to Minnesota. Obviously, you can tell a little bit from the background. I am in a different location. I moved into my house. My wife will be out here with me in about 2 weeks. Moved into my house on Monday, so
Hey
hopefully
now,
hopefully my quality is better. The internet's doing a little bit better. But I appreciate the guy that let me. Name's Brad. Appreciate Brad for letting me live in his
Brad,
basement for 2 months, three
Brad,
months, however long it was. It was a great time. I'm gonna be friends talking to him for a long time. For sure.
you put the
I
lotion
want
in
to
the
thank
basket.
I want to appreciate. Hey, I gotta appreciate my guy Brad. He let me have
Yeah.
Thanksgiving with his family. He's invited me to
Oh,
Christmas for his family, which I am probably gonna
oh,
go.
so
My
cool.
I have the option of going to the Minnesota Vikings and Detroit Lions game, or going to spend time with his family for Christmas, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go spend time with his family for Christmas because it's
Wow,
they're great people.
dude,
So
that's huge. If you people knew how my man's feels about his Vikings, that's huge.
But no, I just it's we all that again. We picked a terrible time to start this podcast, but we wanted to do it. We needed to get it started, and we're not stopping. So
No,
we appreciate the 40 to 50 some odd of you that sit here and watch the podcast. Because again, hey, those 50 views, some people might not think that's a lot, but we appreciate that. We got, hey, episode 1 still, it's hanging at 99 views. So someone go have your grandma watch it. Someone go have your grandma watch it. We need to hit the 3 digits.
put the 3 digits,
Yeah,
baby. Put the 3 digits, baby.
we've put no money into this. We're not paying to promote any of this. This is all word of mouth and just passing it along, and me sitting on TikTok scrolling through all these lives trying to get in the pocket out there. But see, we just went off for everybody. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
Please do, please do, please do. And if you, well, obviously you're gonna next show will be after Christmas, so have a happy super
Will it?
Christmas with your family and your people.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
Christmas.
so.
Christmas is on Thursday. No, we're gonna get into another. Maestro, have a good night, everybody. Have a great rest of your week.